cannot kill K'Sante. It's almost impossible. So I feel like RA right here need to prioritize a lot more ease of execution when it comes to their team fights. Now, Rumble is the one thing that I'm saying right here that's, never mind. It's the last ban from the Zetaman IP. I'll take it back.
So the Rumble, actually the most banned champion of the split, will be taken off the board once again. Ashe, I think, is the second most banned, which is also banned by NIP. But the Leona, not there for the first pick for RA, and neither is that Lilia. What do they default to instead? Looks like they want to take the Tristana away from Rookie. And instead of a B5, the Tristana now has been promoted to B1.
So this is a very interesting prospect right here, because every single time a best of starts, there's usually one champion that is in high contention from both teams. And Tristana was not necessarily the one that would jump to mind, seeing as is both teams really... They have other things to prioritize, especially through the jungle and the top lane for me, specifically. So I was expecting maybe Xiaoxu to go for the Renekton again, but NIP with very heavy skirmish 80 carry in terms of that misfortune down the bottom of the map for Photic, and I feel like this definitely suits them. However, that Kindred was, sorry, not Kindred, that Ivan was banned in game number 1 against Xiaohao, and knowing how you play a lot of double 80 carries, it kind of fits, it fits the bill right here.
I mean, Xiaohao's played 3 games of the Ivan so far this split, but looks like it'll be the Sejuani for now. So RA just moving away from carry junglers entirely, although, you know, Shyvana arguably different from the other carry junglers in the way that she functions. Anyway, it's going to be hard to gauge for Xiaohao with the Sejuani, and it's going to be Assum grabbing that Ziggs. A power pick for him. 80% win rate over 5 games this split.
I love what RA have going on so far. Very clear path to victory. They engage through the Sejuani, you've got your front line, you've got your double cannons in the back, 1 AP, 1 AD, both absolutely demolish towers as well. And knowing how RA like to play through that area of the game, a little bit more aggro, gain control through their lanes, I feel like the first 3 picks that they have right here are very indicative of how they want to play. Now you need a support to pretty much put right next to that Ziggs, so you can create those engages, create those opportunities, things like the Alistar pop to mind and the Nautilus, whilst NIP are focusing mostly on banning out champions for Xiaoxu. The Rumble in the first rotation, Jack's here too.
When you think about the champions that RA have, right, Ziggs and a Tristana, they're so good at killing towers. You've got a Sejuani. Ban away things that are going to work with this Sejuani to contest Grubs, right? Because Grubs are just so powerful for RA with this strat. Like, things like the Renekton even, I think, could be good bans. Just because Xiaoxu will, if he has something that can skirmish for Grubs, this RA composition becomes a real problem.
I feel like NIP need to sniff out the Camille. Yeah, they definitely did. It's a very easy way for the Ziggs all to land. You pretty much just jump into the backline, and it's not just that Camille will die. Camille later on will also assassinate someone like a Misfortune. So a very, very good read right here from NIP. You mentioned a lot about the Sejuani plus another champion that can have a very good synergy with her. And Camille is the most played champion for Xiaoxu, and he's found a lot of success with it. So great ban right here from the side of NIP. The only other melee champion that Xiaoxu has played is also the Aatrox, of course, together with the Renekton. But the Renekton had a pretty tough time playing into the Zara last game.
Yeah, I wonder if NIP are happy with that matchup anyway. Like I mean, Shanji's K'Sante looked great in the previous game. Wonder if you do want to take away the Renekton, if you just stick with the K'Sante for yourselves and just accept that matchup. K'Sante not going to do quite as well at the level 6 scraps, and instead they do opt into that Renekton. I wonder if Xiaoxu just goes for the K'Sante himself, or if there is something else in the tank. No,
there you go.
K'Sante comes through. It is just the same matchup again.
I just love it for a rare here. It's a very clear indication of how to play the game. It's a front-to-back composition for themselves. Now, we're looking for a last pick right here. It was going to be the support. Nautilus open, Rakan open, Alistar open, which is primarily played a lot versus the Rel. Can pin down a target, followed up with the Sejuani or vice versa. Ooh, let's see.
Ought to be interesting, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
He's got a game of Bard already. We saw Jwei's Bard, and it looked beautiful. Honestly, I said earlier in the split, I want to see more enchanters, more weird stuff from Jwei, because the Bard game looked so good. And well, we get a second bar game from Jwei, setting up to try and answer Zhuo as well. Let's see if he can get out onto that map.
I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing right here from RA. Very creative. Sure, they have played Bard once before, but this is very creative. Try and pin down and melee support in lane. The Ziggs plus the Bard are going to hurt significantly much. And Zhuo and Photic might be falling behind in that early game, which will then free Xiaohao to make plays on the map as a Juani. You've got so much push through the Ziggs, through the Tristana, such eating power on the towers through the two as well, together with the Satchel.
Yeah.
It's very clear what RA are trying to do here. Establish lane dominance into late game teamfights.
I wonder what it is about this Bard pick against, if there's some correlation here against Misfortune, because last time around he played it against IG, against Arn and Vampire. They were playing Misfortune and Maokai. I wonder if it is something to do with Bard against Misfortune. Maybe the AoE from your autos to get rid of the strut, or just ulting her ult. I'm not sure. We'll see what Jwei can get up to, though, on this Bard pick. It's an exciting pick to go into our second game. RA here, the underdogs today, undoubtedly. And now with a bit of a different composition, demolitionists in both mid and bot lane, and Jwei bringing a Bard to the table. We'll see if it can work out for them. But they're up against rookies Zeri in that mid lane. He's been practicing it in solo queue. We've seen him play it one time and it was not a win just yet. But maybe that extra solo queue practice can be the difference. NIP managing to win out game number 1. Let's see if they can double down on that victory as we head into game 2. So, a couple of heals dropped in the mid lane for Vicla. Should
2 cups of cocoa, yeah?
Yeah, make his laning phase a little bit easier. One thing I will quickly mention, Zeri, extremely good into these other AD carries. Could struggle into the Corki that we saw in the mid lane from Vicla last game, but against the Tristana, can have a very nice time. And especially keep your eyes on the passive, the empowered auto attack that she gets. Every single time that's available, expect Rookie to try and dash forwards to get that auto in a queue and then get back out of the trade again.
Yeah, usually a lot of the times as a Shanji is trying to be a nuisance in Xiaohao's jungle. He spotted him starting top side of the map. Usually how a lot of those Zeri matchups go is that Zeri will play forward from the wave and try to pin you underneath the tower early on. So I really do like the fact that Jwei started with the heal. He's popped 2 Coco mugs underneath the tower of Vicla. So if you do take an unfavorable trade, if you are forced underneath your tower, you do have those to fall back to get that early health early on. As you can see right here, you do struggle a little bit into the Misfortune. Misfortune is a stat checker of an AD carry, and you don't have the Q to put the damage down early on onto this Bard. So those heals are going to come in clutch until you have that level, then you can play a little bit more aggro.
Maybe just accepting as well that you're not really winning that. Look at that Rookie using barrier early in the laning phase as well to make sure that he's getting that advantage in these trades against Vicla, using that passive, using the barrier just to find a lane advantage. Because obviously he doesn't have TP. He kind of needs to do well in this early lane. And Lien gonna take advantage of the fact that he has such a dominant mid laner. Go for an invade onto these chickens. Now moving towards the Crux as well. He was spotted on the chickens. Xiaohao should know that he's coming. Spots the Krug, won't be able to get in range to smite this one. In fact, Lien's smite was on cooldown. He's going real deep for this one as Zhuo flanks around the tower as well, and Xiaohao just kicked out of his own jungle.
I love the fact that Lien is trying to leverage the fact that he's super fast at clearing the jungle, sprinted through mid. And that all started from Shanji actually spotting Xiaohao starting through that top side of the map. Now, also very clever from Xiaohao, because he dropped one of his camps to get to that bot side, so his bot side doesn't get taken fully. Right here, NIP is priority central, baby. Shanji's already moved in. Lian's back on the top side of the map. Ooh, just about don't get spotted.
Shanji does get spotted on that ward. Did see it. Oh, actually manages to clear it. Vicla gets a bit of health. Lien Laying in wait on the other side of mid as Zhuo moves in, tries to push Vicla up to that top side, but Lian goes for the scuttle crab in the end. A very different bit of pathing from an early game Zyra. Not what we usually see, but it means that Xiaohao only gets the grok on the top side. He's going to try and invade, but there's no camps up right now, and Lian can move to his bottom quadrant and even go for the bottom crab.
I think he's going towards the gank for the tops of the map. He's pinging that tri-bush. Insane mind games from both junglers right here in terms of pathing, and Shanji might have to burn his flash.
Shanji can't get himself out. Slice and dice comes on through. There's the knock up and flash. Comes out from Shanji, so at least to summon it for RA. But Xiaohao, I mean, that was all he could really do on the map. Moves now towards the crux to try and punish Lian.
But that's your job as a Sejuani. When you do not have anything left in your jungle, the bot side was taken, he just took his Gromp as well, the wolves were coming up in just a bit. You are basically jobless on the map, so you need to find an avenue for a gank. Now, sticking around means that you get to take away the Gromps, which means you don't necessarily fall too much behind. I mean, you're falling behind nevertheless versus a Zyra. And especially... Oh, he didn't get the Grubs, you're right. And especially when you're playing and you're showing on the map and ganking. Oh, Vicla has already jumped forward.
Flash for flash between Zhuo and Vicla. Is Vicla really feeling the pressure in this mid lane? It's a bit of a CS lead for Rookie so far, but he's had so much presence from the rest of his team to get in these trades. Rookie now continuing to scrap this one as Zhuo backs away. Lian arrives on the scene. Vicla caught and has to dash away just as Xiaohao goes in. There's no damage for RA if Vicla's not autoing.
There's no damage for anyone. NIP and RA are throwing 3 and 3 bodies in that mid lane. Basically trying to establish some vision, see if they can get a pick. We did say at the very beginning that RA versus NIP was going to be a scrap. They were willing to throw bodies, they were willing to fight. The first game was very indicative that both of these teams were ready to skirmish all over the map, and this has started straight off from minute 3, everyone around that mid lane. We did say that it's a very mid lane dominant meta. Support and jungle do play heavily around their mid laners, and with the performances that Vicla and Rookie had in game number 1, this is rightfully so the choice from both of them. Now Lian is gonna make his way towards the tops of the map. Go for those void grabs, definitely helps, especially when you have a Renekton having a little bit more of that pressure in the early game.
Great to see Lian and Zhuo playing around Rookie in that mid lane. It's so good to see Rookie having this support and a great game plan as well, knowing that Zeri can find the advantage against that Tristana, assuming she doesn't get outnumbered, setting Rookie up, even without the TP, to maintain a one-wave CS advantage in that mid lane. Really, really nice start. There you see him dash forwards to get that passive auto, along with a couple of Qs, just to get these slightly positive trades against Vicla and get that fleet footwork propped.
And I don't know if you guys noticed where Shanji backed. He backed exactly where Xiaohao is right now. He scouted through the jungle, saw its camps are up, searched to see if he could find Xiaohao before he backed, and now he's resetting back towards the top side of the map. Lian has a pretty good avenue right here with with Zhuo roaming around the map to potentially take that red buff and start hunting again to try and find Xiaohao in his jungle as Vicla.
Vicla trying to get the trade, but his burst is done with. And Rookie pretty much trading evenly. Means that he will be okay, but I guess Vicla has some hot cocoa. So maybe it is a positive trade for Vicla. After all, Rookie does still have that barrier, so we'll keep our eyes on that matchup. As Xiaohao tries to move in, smite for smite, and it will be Xiaohao that manages to grab it. Obviously, the 3 grubs went the way of Lian earlier on. They're not up for another 3 minutes just yet. But Drake is up on the bottom side of the map as everyone moves mid once again. It's an absolute scrap for the mid wave every single minute.
It's been a 3v3 since what? Minute 2? Minute 1? Minute 3? Like the entire time? It's been a 3 versus 3 in that mid lane. Assum!
Not a good time to cast your ultimate there, buddy. That's Assum's flash down. I think he might have had to flash anyway, to be honest. Nice little ult from Photic. Big pressure onto this 6 Zhuo. And Lian were maybe thinking about going for a dive there, but don't get the opportunity with this Bard in the area with Xiaohao shadowing. They will be sent back out of the jungle, but Lian not going to give up without grabbing a red buff. Does just about get it. The smite and an auto to follow it finishes the buff.
Almost Xiaohao grabbing his own red buff right there. Great punish But Leon, they know that Ziggs was poked super heavily down the bot side of the map, had to clear the wave. Then the reset comes through. And this is a great play by NIP in the early game anyway. You do want to put that pressure in the mid lane because you don't want Assum to be chipping through those towers early on. So by committing Zhuo and Leon around that mid lane to try and get Rookie ahead, what that inevitably causes is Jwei has to move as well, which means that dominant bot lane doesn't get to show their teeth in the early game. Ziggs has not touched the tower once down the bot side of the map, and usually when you see Ziggs, by minute 13, by minute 12, Ziggs is already on the top side tower, taking tower platings right there. Assum has not touched enemy tower once, so NIP, great pressure around that mid lane, mitigating the bot pressure too.
Oh, actually comes out from Rookie, but Buster Shot sends him away from the play. Jwei's on the scene as well. I don't think Rookie will be able to snowball off of this ultimate. Xiaohao managed to get himself some chickens on the top side and maybe looks towards Shanji as well. Pathing straight at that top lane and delivered by Xiaoxu, but Shanji manages to pull himself out to safety. Has that flash should he need it, and he just might. Xiaohao still in the area, and there's Jwei as well, but looks like no real opportunity onto this Renekton in the end.
Yeah, Xiaoxu didn't quite find the angle to teleport Shanji into that tri-bush.
I mean, Dominus
I'm not sure this is a very clever play. You do not have ultimate on the Cassante. You've got Flash plus ultimate coming in from Shanji's Renekton, and honestly, that wave got taken away by Shanji. The entire...
in 60 seconds, it's a great play if you've got Bard ult, but it's a level 5 Bard, so the tower's still a part of it. You're not pulling that dive off, are you?
I don't think you have quite enough damage between the two, especially when you don't have ultimate from the Cassante. You see now NIP committed more members towards the top side of the map to try and contest for the Void Grubs. It seems like there's not going to be any contest from the side of R8. I mean, 6 Void Grubs going to the side of NIP.
Really, really nice map movement there from NIP. So Shanji resets on the top side. Rookie ran straight to that top lane. Photic moved mid, and then Shanji TP's down bottom. So they lose nothing in terms of waves on the map, but they reordered their laners so that they can contest here. But also Shanji theoretically could have TP'd up top as well, should a fight have kicked off. So nice bit of play from NIP. That's 6 grubs for them against a demo squad. It's so valuable to deny those grubs.
Absolutely, but look at RA. They're instantly running towards the top side of the map. Journey helps a lot in pretty much closing the distance between you and any laner. You can put it through the wall, through that base, around that top lane tier 1, and you can close the distance super quickly. NIP do respect the fact that Bard could be around, and an ultimate could be very disastrous for a tower dive towards the top side of the map. So they're gonna call it off, and a lot of question marks around NIP is, where did the macro go? Where did the tempo go? Where did the macro gods from Spring with the with the swaps?
Oh, Jwei, he's caught out, he's CC'd up, and he'll burn to death. Leanne grabs himself first blood flashes from the bomb as well. NIP, they find themselves a pick, and this Bard not looking so hot for Jwei after all.
Hold up, Leon, these cupcakes are not for eating. They are small bombs. I feel like Leon felt like these were cinders. He was trying to collect all of them. He was playing a different game right there and had to burn his flash in the end. Or Assum would claim the kill right there, but it's a favorable trade for NIP. Leon managed to grab that kill over there, and so far, I feel like NIP has been so clever again, playing around the Bard, playing around the pressure that this Bard would create towards that bot side of the map.
Xiaohao tries
that
to get
constant.
Just denied. Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. It's okay. He's been trying to find his footing around that Zara. It's really hard as Sejuani. Again, when you show up on the map as Sejuani as any facilitating slash ganking jungler, you are going to lose so much. Whether it's in your jungle or falling behind in general in gold and CS. And that's exactly what's been happening here. Plus the advantage of the kill on Leon. He's a kill ahead. He's a level ahead. He's going to be having his first item soon.
This game from Rookie has been insane, by the way. This Zeri pick is working beautifully, moving around the map. That's 5 plates and a tower top. He managed to get 1 plate mid earlier on as well. He's 1,500 gold up. So is Photic. Like, this is a monster performance out from the laners of NIP. And they're 4,000 gold up. It may look like there's not been much happening in this game, but trust me, the amount of map play, it's like really good map plays coming out from NIP. Like you said before, This is reminiscent of what we saw in spring. This is the team that brought those lane swaps into the game because of that clever macro play. And now we get to see them kind of going back to having this really solid map movement, having these really good drafts that are answering what RA wants to try and do. And now Xiaohao might just be caught, sent away in the jungle once again.
Hey, we said that RA had a pretty hard composition to execute, and right here it's easier, but that doesn't mean NIPs is bad either. You want to dive into them, they'll be more than happy. They've got the Zyra, they've got the Rel to peel and re-engage onto you now. NIP full control on that bot side of the map. They've got Rookie pressuring that bot lane as well. He's got that static shield already up, and now RA are gonna have to force themselves through that choke point to try and find an answer.
Well, the Drake already low. Xiaohao jumps into the pit to try and get himself that smite. Does find it. Rookie sent away as well as Zhuo golden in the middle of everything. Xiaoxu dives onto the backline and just looks for a free kill onto Lien, but the Magnus Storm pulls him back. It's 1-for-1, and now the chase down. Shanji jumps onto Assum, but Assum jumps away. Bullet time onto Jwei, escapes with his life, but the laser over the wall fries him alive. 3-1 for NIP.
RA managed to steal the dragon. They lose a couple in the process, but a dragon is a dragon, and they stop the stacking from NIP. NIP right now, 4,000 gold in the lead, almost 3.5. And they have been using that side lane pressure so well. Oh, Rookie.
Rookie does get over the wall. Oh! Within an inch of his life, less than 100 HP. But he survived nonetheless. Still had flash up, by the way, as well. If he'd gone down to that, it would have been a little embarrassing.
It was calculated. Let's watch this one more time. Xiaohao is waiting on the wall. He has vision with the lens, dives in, and the damage keeps going down onto the dragon, which means it's a 50-50. Xiaohao ends up getting that one. But right here, Shanji has found his way again in the backline of RA, which means that Ziggs is disrupted, doesn't get to put down much damage, has to flush through the wall. Then RA tried to aid Assum to be able to put down damage, but then the rest of NIP collapses onto them. And again, this is a much easier to execute composition from RA, but that doesn't mean it's any different still from NIP from game number 1 to game number 2. Shanji right here with the Renekton, finding his angles in the backline. It's gonna get more difficult as time goes on. However, the gold leader here for NIP is much better than what it was for RA in game number 1.
And I feel like we are seeing a dramatically different pace from the NIP than what we saw in game number 1. Like, we talked about this Renekton in game number 1, how it's going to fall off later on, how they kind of needed to be playing with pace on the side of RA when they had that Renekton. It does feel like NIP are trying to play with pace themselves, but contested on the Herald here. Xiaohao goes for the ultimate onto Rookie, tries to start that fight. Zhuo dives in, Herald taken for the bomb, doesn't lead too much. It's 1 kill for RA as they look for more onto Lien as well. Xiaoxu sets it up for the second of the fight. NIP trying to up the pace, but RA, they're the pacemakers.
Great setup from RA. They've got the big potential. That's a Zhuani ultimate from Xiaohao. Was incredible. Now the wave is going to get cleared out by Photic's ult, but they have the Rift Herald to tank the tower, and they could be looking to take them. Our Rookie dives forward.
Rookie
the Herald is going to die.
Herald removed the bomb on the tower here as Photic keeps going forwards. Does have a lot of damage with that Bloodthirst through the BF sword as well. They won't be able to find too much more, but honestly, these resets are kind of delayed. Maybe there's an angle to get some damage onto this tower. Vicla and Assum both no TP available.
Yeah, Rookie sees that as well. He's going to run straight towards that bot lane tower. Jwei, Zhuo is going to be following him too, shadowing him through that bot side of Xiaohao's jungle. That tower is going to go down for NIP. So all in all, not the most favorable fight towards the top side of the map. Again, RA much easier peak potential. And NIP, when you walk forward as 3 carries in front of your Renekton or your Rel, you're gonna end up getting punished right here. NIP don't necessarily have the setup. They don't wait enough for Shanji to come in, and by the time they come in, they've already lost one of their main engages. And 3 carries, they just have to pretty much disperse and run for their lives.
I think NIP perhaps overestimating quite how fast they could get the Herald, and really punished for that. It's a nice fight for RA. And I think a much needed fight for RA, honestly, with how this game has been going. It's been a slow and steady macro victory for NIP in the early game. as they've entered the mid-game with about a 4,000 gold lead, and RA now starting to answer back. They really want to get onto this mid tower, and with the Ziggs and Tristana will finally do so. And look at this rookie, again, just pushing so far into the enemy territory. He's now looking
red buff.
at red buff as he jumps onto Vicla, rotating off of that prio on the bottom side. And now potentially NIP can set up for an invade onto this red buff. Xiaohao is in the brush as Zhuo steps forward to start the engage. Red buff the objective, but it might turn into a fight as they pull Xiaohao back into the play. Vicla trying to get damage out, but he can't really do much as Rookie dives towards him, and the bullet time finishes the job. NIP, they didn't get a single series win in the whole group stage, but here in the Knights Rivals last chance qualifier, they know it's that last chance and they're not letting it go.
NIP has finally woken up. Don't know if it's Leon joining the team, playing those AP junglers, enabling NIP through that jungle, but also Rookie, Photic, Shanji, everyone is stepping up. It was never a question of whether NIP is a bad team. It was always a question of these guys are so good. They've all had carry moments. Can they do it consistently and as a group? And so far the answer to that question was no. NIP here, playing as a unit, using the red buff as the baiting array into their own jungle. Vicla walks a little too far forward, gets chased down. Last tick of bullet time will take him down from Photic, and again, it was more about consistency, playing as a team, using the macro, playing fast onto the map. NIP, we hadn't seen that since spring playoffs. Their fast movement on the map, they're bringing it back here versus RA. Sure, a lot of question marks will remain. This is a Group Ascent versus Group Nirvana best of series. However, NIP really needed a dub to just get restarted going into playoffs.
I don't want to call anything too early because, you know, yesterday it felt like Group Ascend were miles ahead of Nirvana as Photic really wanted to get that trade, and well, he got the trade. Maybe not quite the way he wanted. He did get the trade. Does have a bloodthirster, so he'll be okay. Zhuo just flashes for an engage and finds the fight once again. Vicla is gone. Rookie is popping off as he charges forward. 1v3 under the tower, and he is electric in the fights. Bullet time to follow it up. RA aren't even allowed in their own jungle.
Rookie is not even going close to the shark. He's playing inside the jaws of the shark. 2.6 thousand gold in the lead onto this Zeri. A Zeri that was banned over in game number 1, and NIP are gonna start the Baron. RA with only 4 members alive. 7 seconds for Vicla. He has TP.
Shanji finds space for his team. Xiaoxu tries to get in all out onto Photic. Is not going to be enough. Shanji finishes as soon as Xiaoxu gets away with his life just about. Shanji the same. And NIP continue the fight, and Vicla dies again. Rookie is diffing this game.
We have commended Rookie for being one of the best players when it comes to playing through Fog of War. And I'm sorry if you can hear drilling through the walls. I cannot control that. I'm so sorry. But Rookie has been commended playing through Fog of War so darn well. His Talia is one of the most legendary champions to play through Fog of War behind walls. However, now playing this area, being able to jump those walls out of nowhere, hiding in the Fog of War, assassinated. All starting with Zhuo right here, finding the engage onto Vicla. NIP has not let Vicla breathe once in these fights. They've not let his Tristana really shine into these fights. Look at, he's just gonna flash forward right here and play through that. Flashes through Assum's Q to get as much damage down as possible onto RA.
Rookie is playing like a man possessed in these fights. He knows that he is the goal lead for his team. And guess what, Zeri? 3 items is the moment where you become a god. And Rookie knows it. He's been a god before. It's a kill onto the enemy jungler with Baron already in pocket for NIP. They are snowballing this game out of control. This is the NIP that we've all missed. This is the NIP that we've all been wanting to see.
It's all been led by the man in the mid lane. Rookie 3-0-3, 3,500 gold. onto Vicla. We said it's a very mid-centric meta. And who else to have in your mid lane other than Rookie? He's looking.
Jumps at Jwei, Vicla there to try and trade. I don't think that's a fight he can win, though. The bomb comes in, Rookie caught out. Can they get the shot?
He's dead.
Finally, he's brought to bear. 1-for-1 between the solo laners, but a huge shutdown.
Yeah, he walks a little bit too far forward right there. RA instantly capitalizing onto that. A kill with a big shutdown. Going over to RA now. Of course, they're going to need plenty more of those. 10,000 gold deficit right here from RA. They're going to need a damn miracle to turn this around.
RA proving that gods can bleed. Rookie taken out of the picture. And that kind of falters the pace here for NIP. We've been talking about how fast-paced of a game this has been from them, how much they are snowballing this game. They are still ahead, but remember, this is the kind of composition that later on can struggle a little bit with the Renekton just not being that much of a front line. But so far, NIP still in control and looking towards this next Drake. This would be their third, and they need to maintain the control.
I don't think Renekton matters anymore here. Renekton literally acts as a meat shield. When all three of your carries are almost 3,000 gold in the lead, you pretty much just throw Renekton in there until Misfortune, Zeri, and Zara have done their job, which is take down HP bars, which is what they can do very well. 3 items on each of the AD carry, 2 items onto the Zara as well. Hourglass completed for Leon as well. He's not going to be dying anytime soon. I feel like the fights are pretty easy from here on out for NIP. They see champion, the engaged champion. Zhuo has been absolutely on point with his engage. He has been one of the points of criticism for NIP. Zhuo sees champion, engages champion, no matter whether NIP is ahead or not. However, in this particular series, his engages have been so pivotal in a lot of these early game picks that got NIP that 10,000 gold lead.
Zhuo, basically that MLXG copy-paste from all those years ago. He sees his team is behind. He goes for an engage to even the game. He sees his team is ahead. He goes for an engage to secure the victory. Yeah, NIP, a fantastic second game here. And after the first game was oh so close between the two teams, it felt like NIP just about edged that one out. Seeing game number 2 be this confident, so like, dare I say, maybe NIP could be a contender in playoffs? Am I going too far a little bit? Yes, they've only won 1 actual game so far, but I'm starting to believe.
Okay, Munch. Okay. They have to win a game versus a team from Group Ascent first.
Well, true.
And then also they have to make it into playoffs first to say that they're a good contender.
Yeah. I'm maybe getting a little
There's many
away.
ifs. There's many ifs and many checklists.
Like, whenever Rookie is a part of the picture, I want to believe. And I have a big soft spot for Lied as well. I think Lied is just such an enjoyable player to watch in the LPL. He's been playing for a long old time. And you know, Lian and Rookie, old school teammates as well. And I've enjoyed many a game that these two players have played together. It's not always been perfect League of Legends, but it's always been entertaining League of Legends.
Entertaining League of Legends right here from NIP for sure. Turning up the pace from the early game, never letting go. 3,500 gold for Rookie, now 3K for Photic, and again RA. They do have the tools. They've got the Bard and they've got the Sejuani. If they do find a pick on someone that's overextended, I'm looking at you, Photic, because it was the case in game number 1. If you overextensions on the Ezreal, they could potentially just get a pick down and start slowly but surely chipping their way back in. Now the problem is this is going to be a solve very soon for NIP, 2.5 minutes, and the Baron is up in 40 seconds. So RA, they're gonna have to weigh their situations right here, try to find the pick whilst also establishing some vision in their own jungle. You cannot be walking blind into any of these Fed members from NIP.
So, a little bit quiet here. Is NIP really struggling to siege without a Baron, but the next one coming up in 15 seconds time. And look at the vision control they have in the top side of the map. There is a single ward of blue buff, there is a ward at Wolves. That is it. That is all RA have to work with here. NIP, pretty much darkness in the top side of the map. They're not even playing Nocturne. Fantastic map control for NIP. The TP mid from Assum to try and contest this wave. get RA on the map themselves. In fact, that's 2 TPs. Vicla's TP used as well. And NIP, they're not even setting up the Baron right now. They're on resets.
Yeah, and this is so scary also for Assum to walk through that ramp, even with his team with him. One pick from Zhuo. He has flash as well. You step onto Assum, you bet NIP is going to come flying in with the picks. They do have to take him down. Now, Ziggs, 3 items, does a lot of damage. Again, RA are looking for a singular pick. They're looking for a singular person, anyone to overextend Zhuo.
I mean, what can Xiaohao do the second he tries to face check? That's half his health gone. Zhuo trying to body block as his AK on the Baron. Baron stalled by Jwei. Time bought, but is time enough? Xiaohao trying to escape as well as Shanji. His TP'd in, and he's looking for Assum. The combo is there, and Shanji carries the fight. Vicla forced to flash away as Xiaoxu trying to do something in the back line, but Photic will not fall. Shanji looks for more as Rookie dives in alongside his top laner, and NIP, this has been a masterclass of a game number 2. This has been the kind of performance we've all been waiting for. It brings flashbacks of spring, and it brings hope for NIP fans as the Nexus Tower siege. Health bar still there for RA, but just not enough of them. Vicla trying to move forwards, but he's 1v5, and he's taken down for the 4th time. Rookie, that was a magnificent game. And NIP, they feel like a team once more.
Ooh, so refreshing to see those glimmers from 2024 spring playoffs. NIP coming back. They read the map so beautifully. The fact that they saw the Bard with the Ziggs down bot lane, they knew they were going to struggle. What do? They just 3-man mid, and RA have to respond to that, which means Ziggs doesn't get any solo time with the towers at all. The first satchel that was used to take a tower was 19 minutes into the game. It was a little bit too late because NIP had already put the damage down. No tower plating's gone to the Ziggs, no towers gone to the Ziggs, and NIP's both carries were fed one more time. That was beautifully done and beautifully read from the get-go by NIP.
Fantastic drafting from NIP in both games. I feel like they really have answered RA's compositions. That's game 2 already done and dusted. We're headed to match point now. NIP on the brink of a sweep. We'll see if they can finish the job right after the break.